Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2020. And I hope and pray that we all have a blessed and prosperous new year. I know I'm looking forward to it. I've made some changes in my life, and I pray you do the same. In this video, we're going to cover why the narcissist cannot be spontaneous. Don't you want to know? Why aren't they spontaneous? Well, let me tell you. One of the reasons the narcissist cannot be spontaneous is because to be spontaneous requires you to be a genuine person. To be spontaneous requires you to be a genuine person. It requires you to have love in your heart. Okay? So if you walk in love each and every day, you can be spontaneous because you make room for God to be God. You make room for God to surprise you. You know, he said he'll do exceedingly and abundantly above all you can ask or think. You make room for that to happen. And so if you are a spontaneous person and a genuine person, then you kind of need to be matched with someone else who's spontaneous and genuine. And guess what? That narcissist, they're not it. They have to premeditate everything that they do. So if you say, hey, I want to go to the movies today, and the movie is in another 2 or 3 hours, more than likely it's not going to happen. Why? Because they don't have enough time to plot. The narcissistic person, they need time, for the most part, to sit and plot and plan and premeditate their course. They need time to measure out how they're going to behave, how they want you to behave. They have to be in that driver's seat during that event that you are trying to do or go to. They have to have enough time to, concoct an attitude. They have to have enough time where they can know that what buttons they're going to push for you, when to push those buttons. All of this has to be figured out and premeditated on and plotted out, and how they want to make you feel by the end of that event. By the end of the night, I want you to feel this. That whole narrative is something that has to be in their control. But if it is something that requires to happen right now, and you're involved, and they think that it's going to make you happy, guess what? It's less likely to come to pass, because narcissists are all about their own happiness. They're all about themselves, and they love to try to make you think that it was about you. Oh, I drank this water because I know you didn't want it sitting on your counter. It's just a bunch of fluff. It's always making it seem like it's something about you, but in essence, it's all about them each and every time. If they don't go to the event, it's because they don't have any money. If you say that you're paying, well, they don't want to do it when you're paying either, because then that puts you in the driver's seat. That gives you too much power. There is always going to be something that is not going to go your way because it has to go their way. So I'm saying all that to say this. Love makes room for God, because God is love. Okay? Love conquers all. This is what the word says. So if you have a problem in the relationship, because love can cover a multitude of sins, love can cover everything, then there shouldn't be all of these type of problems. It should be where they can pick up and we can go and do something spontaneous. But because there is no love, because it is about power, manipulation, and control, that is their love language, minus empathy. Okay, so there's no empathy and it's about power, control, and manipulation. Then there's no room for love in any of that, because God is not a God of power and control and manipulation. In fact, the Bible says that those things is as a spirit of witchcraft. Because if you have to try to control someone else, if you have to constantly be in the driver's seat, you can't submit to what one person says and another person, it's just always teeter-totter, topsy-turvy, I'm up, you down, I'm up. And it's just a constant battle of the sexes, and it's a constant competition. These type of things require way too much energy, and only one person has the energy for that, and that is a narcissistic individual. They have the energy to continuously argue, fuss, and fight, to continuously plot, to continuously be in the driver's seat, manipulate, continuously try to control your thoughts and emotions and your actions, continuously try to control how you feel at the end and beginning of the day, to continuously try to put themselves on your mind. Only a narcissistic person has these capabilities, and only a narcissistic person can actually pull it off. So, if you want to test drive to see if you are dealing with someone who is narcissistic, see if they have to always plan 24 to 48 hours in advance, or even 72 hours minimum. See if they always have to have an advance notice. See if they ask questions like, why are you just now telling me this? As if it really matters when you told them. See if they ask you questions like, well, why didn't you mention this before? As if you mentioning it now on the spur of the moment makes a big difference. It really didn't matter when you mentioned it, but it does to them, because they did not have ample time. They did not have sufficient time. You did not allow them the quality time that they needed to sit and stew and brew over what you are talking about. It don't matter when you're telling them. It's just the fact that you are telling them to you. But to them, no, baby. They need a 72 to a week in advance notice so they can combat either what your request is, or they can control what your request is. Why do they need this kind of time? You want to know. You may find yourself asking, well, why did I need that kind of time? I'm telling you now. And that doesn't work for them, because, again, it didn't allow them enough time to be able to think quick on their feet. They're only quick to think on their feet if they're trying to argue with you, because they're going to win the argument every single time. And if they don't win the argument, they're going to use intimidation. If they don't win the argument verbally, they're going to win the argument through intimidation, through getting loud, through over talking you, to changing the subject, to gaslighting you, point blank period. That is how the narcissist will win the argument. But basically, if you need to figure out if you are with someone who is narcissistic or even have NPD, try to see or take a look at how spontaneous they are. And I'm sure you will find your answer very, very quickly. Until next time, this is Coach Gwen, your GPS, getting you positioned for success. And if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead, drop me down a comment down in the comment section. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to share with somebody who may be experiencing these type of issues. That's what this channel is all about. And until next time, I want you to be immensely blessed. Take care, and remember, I love you.